What could you accomplish with 800 hours? Have you ever thought about that? I had a conversation with a friend of mine, and in passing, we were talking about how he knew someone who spent 800 plus hours on a video game, just one video game. It could be multiple video games. I don't know, but like how games today spent like they like it clocks how much time you've spent on a video game. Um, Anyways, that's neither here nor there. But I digress. The individual played a video game for at least 800 hours, and that's not a lot. Like let me be honest with you, I've probably done that in my whole life. I probably have spent about that much time on video games, if not more. But what could you accomplish with 800 hours of intense focus on something? And I was asking him, could you become a pretty good guitar player or a pretty good drummer because he's a musician? And he was like, yeah, you could. You could become a really good musician, a really good guitar player with 800 hours of training. At the very least, you'll be better than 99% of any person who plays the guitar, or not even any person, but like the average person, because most people don't know how to play the guitar. So the fact that you have 900 hours clocked in at playing the guitar, you're by default better than that person at the guitar. Now, I was thinking about this because video games are a fun pastime. I'm probably going to play some today. But often we just, we play too much, right? We play too much and we avoid too many things. Imagine if you invested the time that you're going to play a video game into something that you have always wanted to do. And I always use art or working out or music as a jumping point, because it's like the low-hanging fruit for me. Like it's the closest to me, art is closest to me. So it's the most relevant reference. But anything that you've always wanted to try, learn, experience, imagine if you invested that time towards something like that. Imagine how good could you be? How well off you could be if you just invested that time in a different avenue. And then maybe after you did your studies, you practiced that thing that you've been wanting to do for so long, you can go reward yourself with some cheesecake or reward yourself with some game time. And that could be the thing that you do. You practice art, you practice writing, you practice making music, you practice creating something, and you practice it with the intention of trying to get a little bit better each time. Then you can go play a video game. I think one of the reasons why we play video games is because, like, the learning curve usually isn't too steep, right? You can get pretty good at it in a short amount of time. You're rewarded, especially today's games. You are rewarded very quickly for playing the game. Like you play a game, you kill some enemies, and you get like some loot, right? You get some cool clothing item, or you get some cool gun attachment, or you get a cool gun skin, or you get some cool just attire, right? So you're rewarded really quickly. And in the world of life, like in the game of life, right? If you want to get better at drawing, you're not rewarded quickly. If you want to get better at being a musician or learn an instrument, you're not rewarded quickly. The reward takes a long time. You know, I'm not saying it takes 10,000 hours, but maybe it does take about 800, you know. Gosh, 800 hours. Some people log in 800 hours in a video game in like 6 months. Just imagine you get home from work, instead of spending that 4 hours or so playing the new game, and you just played at the game of life, aka you played at this idea of improving yourself, and you'll feel great, you know? You'll feel better for trying something that is hard at the beginning, but it's never like it's never going to be like easier, because each time you level up with this new skill, you're always trying to do new things. You're always testing yourself in some way or another. But imagine if you took that 800 hours and you directed it towards something. Just imagine. That's what I wanted to kind of talk about briefly. Is just imagine for yourself 800 hours. What you could do with 800 hours. So anyways, that's it for the day. I just wanted to make a small little video talking about video games and where you're spending your time, and that's it. Don't forget, in the comment section, tell me what you think you could do, what you think you could accomplish if you spent 800 hours towards that thing. Anyways, don't forget to subscribe. I got to get going. Cheers, my friends.